Alright, we got old grain in the garage. And I've got some stuff sprayed down. I sprayed some PP Blaster on the bolts for the bumper. There's a bolt under here on the frame that bolts the radiator support on. A bolt right here that bolts the other side of the radiator support on. I sprayed those down real good. Couldn't get to these yet. You have to take this cowling off. But there's two bolts up here. And then there is a bolt down inside of here. I sprayed that one down real good. If you do all that, theoretically, the whole doghouse, not talking about you, the whole doghouse will come off as one unit. And that's going to be with the headlights and everything still in it. I have to take the wires loose up here. And that should be about it. I'm debating on whether I want to go ahead and take the hood off, but the one thing, the hood will hold everything rigid and not let it flop back and forth, because these fenders will be bolted on here. Yes, I ordered this part too. Get that out of the way. I ordered this part, this thing that screws in here. It has the other one over here, but the rubber's missing off of it, so we're going to redo everything. I got to take this chrome off. Got the new chrome, you know, but this is that old stick-on cheap chrome that I stuck it on there years ago, and I did it when it was cold outside, and I had this roll of stuff because it came in a roll. I had this roll of stuff inside, and I cut it inside, and it was like, I don't know, 20 degrees outside or something like that. This one didn't shrink that much. That was a miscut there. But you can tell on this end, they're shorter. When it got cold, it shrunk. And then I ended up with it way back here. But anyway, those are coming off. And the real thing is going on. See, it just, they were glued on. The real thing, it goes in these holes right there. Anyway, oh yeah, let me show you what else I got out here. Okay, I have got two front fenders. And here is the door skin for the driver's side. Instead of just doing the bottom, I'm doing the whole door skin because I don't want to try to make that seam up and get it to just work out perfect. This way I know it's already worked out. But if I had chrome that I was going to put on the side, now I would take and I would cut at that seam and, you know, put the new piece on, weld it all on, and do the best I could with this bodywork, but then I would know that the chrome would cover it. But I don't have any chrome going on the side, so. Alright, here is a fender. That, of course, is your driver's side fender, and it has everything on the inside. That's the complete fender. This will let you know where all the bolts are starting out. Here's these two top bolts that go under the cowling. The bottom bolt is right here. And here's where the hood bolts on. Those two and that. And then, as you can see, the grill bolts on to these two. And these two. Radiator support bolts on right there. And I suppose right here, although that may be the inner fender bolts on there. Oh, yeah. there is another bolt that I forgot. I'll have to show you in a minute. But here we got that. Oddly enough, though, I didn't receive these two fenders at the same time, but I ordered them from the same company. But there are a couple of differences. One difference is it's nothing major. There are no major differences. Nothing that's going to affect me putting it on. Except on this one, you can see the hole for the headlight trim. Okay. On this one, I have to drill the holes. Seems kind of odd to me, but they come from the same company and they have, there's a couple of little minor differences, but nothing major. One thing is the emblem. There are no holes here for the emblem, so I'll have to measure on the other one from the fender over. But that won't be that big of a deal. Anyway, that's that. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I figured out, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take the hood off. Now, that's not the right bolt. It was too long, so I put a nut on it. And I'm going to put the right bolt back in when I put her back together. But this was too long, it would have hit the hood, so I put a nut on the end of it. Here's one back here. Over on this side, you've got two. Already got one out. There's the bottom one. Okay, if you look right here and back in here, there are 3 bolts that have to come off. The hood hinge is ready. It will come right off. It will have to be wire wheeled and cleaned up, but it'll look new when I get done. One thing you can pay attention to when you take something like this apart is the witness marks on the part that you took apart. You can tell exactly where the washer, let me get a body bolt. You can tell exactly where the washer of the body bolt was sitting. Because if it's over here, you know that's not the position it was in. So a lot of times you can just line everything back up. But see, I'm putting new fenders on, so these are not going to mean anything now. But if you're putting it right back on the same setup, then just line it back up with the witness marks. Okay, all the bolts so far have been 9/16. Now we are going to go with the, where's it at? 1/2 inch. Right there. And it is starting with this bolt. You have one there. You have screws all the way across that are down in here. And you have screws in here that go all the way across. Now my rubber piece right here, I need to order another one of those. But, okay, the wipers. These things can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But let's see what we can do with them. Okay, what you'll need, a couple of screwdrivers. There's a little clip up under here. You'll take one screwdriver, push this little clip, which I'll show you the clip. When I get this off, it'll be easier to show you once the wiper is off. And it will just pop off. Okay, very easy. Now, one thing about it, you would want to lay down like a blanket or something, or put a piece of tape or something on here to keep it from scratching up, because you are going to scratch your cowl up if you just use a bare screwdriver against the paint, of course. Like I said, I'm going to repaint anyway. Here's your clip. That's what I pushed back with the screwdriver. Just like this. It pushes back. Once that pushes back, all that does, there's a groove right here. It sits in that groove and holds the wiper blade on. All there is to it. But they can be a pain sometimes. If they've been on there for years and years and have not been removed, then yeah. Might as well get ready to do some cussing. Okay, now may need an extension for this part. Okay. And then the screws. You can get the screwdriver in the screw. All the way across. Now also, just inside the door frame, let me back up here so you can see where I'm at. Okay, there's your cowl, cab coming down. It's this bolt right here. You have to take one off on this side and one off on the other side. So let's do that now. Okay, next, we're going to try these, which I did not spray. Maybe I might give them a quick spray just. Just in hopes maybe that might go in there where it's needed. And something important, back in here, that is called a shim. This piece right here, those are to space this fender over a little bit. Wherever there's a shim, remember it, because you will probably need to put it back in the same spot. If I can get this one out without losing it. See, here's another one right here. Another shim. Like I said, those were put in there from the factory. And that just spaces this fender out this way just a little bit. Pushes it out a little bit. That messes with where your door matches up right here. So it's got to be right. Now, underneath. Okay, now for this one, the fender coming down through here, the bolt is right under here. It's kind of hard to see from underneath. So, we're going to do it like this. And I needed a little extra leverage for this one, so I used a wrench on the end of my ratchet for some more leverage. You can do that if you can't get the leverage to turn a bolt. Find a wrench that'll fit over it. And there you go. The wrench ain't long enough, get you a bar. You'll either break something or it'll come loose. Speaking of breaking something, this is what you run into with bolts that are 50 years old. That bolt's been in there for 50 years and it was not coming out for anything. So this is loose. So now inside here, inside the wheel well, there is another bolt, a big bolt. I can get the light to focus in on it. Right there. Okay, you get the point. There it is. Bolt's been in there forever. Okay, this one is under the bumper, front bumper, and this is one of the body mounts for the front, and it is an 11/16. Now I have tried, actually it had this piece right here was bent down over it, so I couldn't get the socket on there. I don't know if that's something they do from the factory or what, but now I can get it on there. But I'm not going to do this one with a wrench because I already tried it and it is like really, really tight. So we're going to try this. Camera off. Well, here are those pieces. Apparently, see, both of them were bent up like that, I guess to keep the bolts from backing off. Both of them were the same. But that's got both of those bolts out. Okay, there are also some bolts. I've got all the wiring out of the way. The whole wiring harness is all folded back. So I want to be able to still start her up and move her around and stuff. So I got all the wires put out of the way for the fenders to come off. Okay, 4 more bolts that have to come off are right down here's 2. See if I can get a little closer. Oops, sorry. Right there and there and there. Those have to come off so that the steering shaft can come out of that slot. So let's get those. You don't really have to watch me take bolts loose. I'm just showing you where those come out from. Okay, as you can probably tell, it's got a little darker out. outside anyway. The bolts on the bumper were giving me fits, so I ended up just grinding them off. Kind of grinded into the bumper a little bit. I'll probably have to get a bumper, but that's fine. Actually, I would like to have a chrome bumper because I'm going to have a chrome front end. But there was something a little disturbing I found. Not that I can't get the part. It's just I didn't really want to buy it. The radiator support is gone. Look here. There is where the radiator support is supposed to go to here. It's just the radiator support is going to stay with the truck. So, or the bottom part is. The radiator will actually be able to sit right there. Which is good. I want to be able to move her around and stuff without the doghouse on. Which I'll be able to do. Well, let me see if I can recruit me some help, and we're going to try to get this off. It's winter time. Alrighty. Got Mason to help me here. And we're going to take the doghouse off and set it over there. Just get the hold it wherever you can. Somewhere. Rust. Yeah, there's more rust than what I thought. There we go. Yeah. That was supposed to go easy. All right. Set it right there. And yeah. There's that. Get the camera. Okay, now we've got front end sitting over here. We can look at this radiator support. Yep. Ain't no fixing that. That's got to be replaced. I didn't know it was that bad. The grill's in good shape, though. Surface rust on the inside of wire wheel take care of that. But this radiator support's gone. That's fine. I looked them up. They're not really that bad. You can see the other side of it right here. What's left of it. All right. Now, old green seems to be missing something. See, here's this part. Right here, I was afraid that'd be rusted through. It's not, but I'll clean all that up. I can get to my door bolts real good.
Right here, making it make a hole in it.
That shouldn't hurt. I don't think there's that much that was going to hurt it. This bolt broke off, or the whole thing come out of it. I'm going to have to fix all this. This is all support structure. There's more rust, but she ain't gonna be too bad. And this plug wouldn't come loose, so I ended up cutting it all. I'm going to put a terminal right here and run them all through a terminal. And I'm not going to run the wires back through the fender the way they were. We'll run them across the top of the fender. But that's got all that. Let's see how this side looks. You can see where my shims was. There were no shims on that other side. That's strange, but see, this way I can remember that. Got it on video. I can remember it. A little bit of rust here. Fix that up. And right down in here. Yeah, I mean, she's 50 years old, so it's a long time for a vehicle to be on the road. Front end looks extra short now. But I guess that will probably do this video. It's getting kind of dark, and
Already?
yeah, it gets dark early now. But I believe I'm going to head back in, edit some video, and got a few more days of work and then should be off. But want to let you all know what's going on. Thank you for watching. I'll see you the next time.